Have you ever come across a theory that, despite being quite controversial, makes you stop and think, could this actually be true? Today, we're diving into one of those fascinating theories that has sparked numerous discussions and captured the imaginations of fans worldwide. Get ready, because this theory promises to change the way you see the character Riley and her emotions. Imagine stepping into Riley's mind and noticing something intriguing. Her emotions are represented by both male and female figures. Joy, sadness, disgust, fear, anger, all coexisting in perfect harmony, but with a peculiarity that makes you question, why do Riley's emotions have distinct genders? And why do the emotions in the minds of other characters align with the gender of the mind's owner? Stay with me in this video as we dive deep into this theory that could change everything you thought you knew about inside out. This theory isn't new, and its roots are so deep that its origin has been lost over the years. But what makes this theory so fascinating is the suggestion that Riley might be part of the LGBT+ community. Yes, you heard that right. As mentioned earlier, her emotions have both male and female representations. Disgust, joy, and sadness, for example, are female figures. Meanwhile, anger, fear, and embarrassment are male figures. But why is this important? Let's take a closer look. In this video, we'll explore all these details and much more. Get ready for an exciting journey full of revelations. And if you, like me, are curious to know if this theory makes sense or if it's just an exaggerated interpretation, don't miss a second and keep watching. Let's unravel this mystery about Riley and her emotions together. You're on the Horse Animated channel, and I'm thrilled to have you here. If we dig a little deeper, we notice that the emotions in Riley's mother's mind are all represented by female figures. Each emotion, from joy to sadness, has a delicate and feminine aspect, perhaps reflecting greater emotional stability. In contrast, in Riley's father's mind, the emotions are all male, with strong and distinctive characteristics that reflect a different type of emotional organization. What does this mean? Well, it indicates that, while the emotions of adults are clearly aligned with the gender of the mind's owner, there's something unique happening in Riley's mind. Even the boy who has a crush on her has exclusively male emotions, reinforcing the pattern that, for other characters, emotions reflect the individual's gender. And it doesn't stop there. The same observation applies to Riley's teacher and the other girls at school. Their emotions are all female, following a clear and seemingly unalterable pattern. It's as if the gender identity of these emotions is a constant in everyone's minds, except in Riley's. Another intriguing detail that strengthens this theory is Riley's appearance. Her outfit is full of vibrant colors, reminiscent of the LGBT+ flag. This doesn't seem to be a coincidence. The colors she wears could be a subtle clue about her identity, suggesting a connection to diversity and gender fluidity. But there's more. Riley's hobbies are also noteworthy. She loves playing hockey, a sport traditionally associated with the male world. This interest in a boy's sport may indicate that she doesn't fit into traditional gender stereotypes, reinforcing the idea that her identity is more complex and multifaceted than that of other characters. There's also a version of the theory suggesting that Riley could be gender fluid. What does this mean? It means that Riley could identify as both a boy and a girl at different times. This would explain why her emotions have both male and female representations. In other words, Riley's mind could be a reflection of her identity in transition, a place where emotions of both genders coexist harmoniously. With all these elements, it's clear that there's much more to explore and understand about Riley and her emotions. The diversity in her emotional representations, her colorful clothing choices, and her gender-challenging interests suggest a complex and evolving character. In the upcoming film, Inside Out 2, we're introduced to an intriguing new character, a popular girl who has a noticeable impact on Riley. From their first meeting, it's clear that Riley is completely unsettled in the presence of this new figure. This reaction has led many to speculate that Riley could develop romantic feelings for this girl in the future, suggesting once again a connection to the LGBT+ community. The presence of this new girl has added a new dimension to the discussions about Riley's identity. Many believe that this emerging relationship indicates that Riley is discovering herself and that her connection with the new character goes beyond mere admiration. For these fans, the possibility of Riley falling for this girl is a way to explore and affirm her LGBT+ identity, something that many see as a powerful addition to the narrative. However, like all theories, this one also has its flaws and critics. Some people see this possibility as a done deal, especially after the release of the second film's trailer, where the interaction between Riley and the new character is highlighted. Yet, Pixar has not confirmed anything about Riley's sexual orientation or the nature of her relationship with the new girl. Personally, I'm skeptical about this theory. I believe that Riley, as the protagonist, was created with emotions of both genders to ensure that the film attracted a broader and more inclusive audience. If all her emotions were female, there might be a risk that the male audience wouldn't feel as drawn to the story, thinking it was just for girls. And that wouldn't be good for Pixar's business, right? This kind of decision is something we see often in animated films. A good example is Coraline, where the character Wybie was added to the film to attract a male audience, even though he doesn't exist in the original book. The presence of a male character was a way to ensure that the film was seen as something for everyone, not just for girls. Riley's story and her emotions are clearly more complex than they appear at first glance. Inside Out 2 brings new elements and characters that make us question and explore even more about Riley's identity. Is the new character just a figure of admiration and a desire for inclusion for Riley, or is there something deeper going on? Regardless of the answers, what is clear is that Pixar has managed to create a story that resonates with many and continues to generate important debates and reflections on identity, gender, and the complexity of human emotions. A fascinating point worth reflecting on is that Riley, unlike the adults around her, doesn't yet seem to have a defined and consolidated identity. In Inside Out, we see that her emotions don't have distinct physical characteristics, unlike the emotions of adult characters, which are notably more organized and mature. This is a subtle but revealing detail that invites us to reflect on Riley's stage of life and emotional development. For example, Riley's mother's emotions are all female, wear glasses, and have identical hair, reflecting the maturity and emotional stability that her mother has achieved over the years. They are represented in an orderly and harmonious manner, indicating a high degree of self-awareness and balance. Similarly, Riley's father's emotions, all male, also present a level of organization and maturity. They have mustaches and other physical characteristics that suggest a strong connection to the father's identity and his emotional stability. Each emotion seems to know exactly its place and function, forming a cohesive and well-defined team. Meanwhile, Riley's emotions are shown in a different stance. They are standing, which symbolizes that they are ready to act, explore, and learn. This choice of posture suggests that Riley is still in a continuous process of discovery and maturation. She is at a stage in a life where emotions and identities are still forming, unlike adults who already feel comfortable and secure in their own skin. Even when compared to other children her age, like the blue-haired girl in her classroom, or the boy who has a crush on her, Riley seems to be in a different stage of development. The emotions of these other children already show physical characteristics similar to their owners, indicating a more advanced degree of maturity and a more defined identity. If the Inside Out franchise continues, it will be interesting to see how Riley's emotions evolve. We can speculate that as she matures, her emotions will gain more defined characteristics, possibly reflecting a clearer and more cohesive identity. Perhaps her male emotions will become female figures or acquire other characteristics indicating a greater degree of maturity and self-awareness. However, it is also possible that Riley's emotions will maintain their current configuration, suggesting that her journey of maturation is still ongoing and that she continues to explore and define her identity. This possibility of transformation or permanence of the emotions makes the narrative even richer and more interesting. Even the director of Inside Out addressed this issue casually, explaining that the choice to mix male and female emotions in Riley's mind was made to add a comedic element to the film, without significant philosophical implications. This response suggests that, while we may find deep meanings in the film's design choices, not all decisions are made with a complex message in mind. Ultimately, the detail about Riley's emotions having characteristics of both genders may be the least important in the moral lesson that Inside Out aims to convey. The film teaches us about the importance of acceptance, emotional diversity, and the ongoing process of self-discovery, something that is relevant to everyone, regardless of gender or age. So, what do you think about this theory? Does it make sense to you, or do you believe it's just an exaggerated interpretation? Have you watched Inside Out 2? Did you feel any vibes between Riley and the new popular girl? I'm super curious to hear your thoughts. Leave your comment below and share your thoughts. And don't forget to share this video with your friends to see what they think too. Until next time.